In this topic, we are going to learn the difference between gravitational force and force of gravity. Now, whenever we speak about gravitational force, the first person who comes to our mind is Sir Isaac Newton. So, what exactly is gravitational force? Now, consider two objects A and B. Mass of object A is m1 and mass of object B is m2. Now, object A attracts object B with some amount of attractive force. At the same time, B also attracts object A with some amount of attractive force. Now, consider these two pens. This pen has mass m1 and the second pen has mass m2. Now, the first pen will definitely have an attractive force and will attract pen B towards itself. At the same time, pen B can also attract pen A towards itself. Now, you might be wondering, oh, I cannot see these two pens moving towards each other. So, where is this attractive force? Well, the attractive force which is acting in between the two pens is very small, or you can say it is negligible. Therefore, you cannot see these two pens moving towards each other. But there definitely exists an attractive force between these two pens. So, what is gravitational force? Gravitational force is the force of attraction that exists between any two objects in the universe or any two particles in the universe. So, what do you know about gravitational force? Every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force, and this force is called as the gravitational force. So, what is meant by force of gravity? The force of attraction which is exerted by a planet or a satellite on any other object is called as force of gravity. For example, you can see an apple falling towards the surface of the earth. The apple is falling in the downward direction because of the force of attraction which is exerted by the earth. So, the earth has exerted a force of gravity on the apple, thereby pulling the apple in the downward direction. So, the force of attraction which is exerted by the planets or the satellites on the objects is called as force of gravity. We all know the classic story about how Sir Isaac Newton discovered the gravitational force. When Sir Isaac Newton was seated under an apple tree, he saw the apple falling on the ground. So, he wondered why all apples fall in vertically downward direction but not in horizontal direction or at an angle to the vertical. So, after much thought, he came to the conclusion that the earth must be attracting the apple towards itself, and this attractive force must be directed towards the center of the earth. The direction from the apple on the tree to the center of the earth is the vertical direction. So, Newton thought that if the force of gravitation acts on the apples which are at different heights from the earth's surface, can it act on other objects which are at greater heights from the surface of the earth? Can the gravitational force act on the moon? Can it act on other planets? Well, the answer to this question is definitely yes. That we are going to begin with is universal law of gravitation or Newton's law of gravitation. Let us consider two objects A and B. The masses of the two objects are m1 and m2 respectively, and these two objects are separated by a distance r. According to Newton, A exerts a force of attraction on B and B exerts a force of attraction on A. So, Newton stated that every particle of matter in the universe attracts every other particle with a force, and this force is directly proportional to the product of the masses of the two objects. So the product of the masses of the two objects will be m1 into m2. Let us consider this as equation number 1. And this force of attraction is inversely proportional to the square of the distances between their centers. That is, F is inversely proportional to R square. Let us consider this as equation number 2. If we combine equation 1 and 2, what we get is F is proportional to m1 into m2 upon R square. If we remove the proportionality sign, what we get is a constant of proportionality. Here I am going to consider, or I am going to take capital G as the constant of proportionality, and further we get m1 into m2 upon R square. This constant of proportionality G is called as the universal gravitational constant. So what is universal law of gravitation or Newton's law of gravitation? Every particle of matter in the universe attracts every other particle with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distances between their centers. So F is proportional to m1 into m2. F is proportional to 1 upon R square. By combining these two equations, we get F is proportional to m1 m2 upon R square. If we remove the proportionality sign, we take a proportionality constant here, which is capital G. So our equation becomes F is equal to G m1 m2 upon R square, where G is called as the constant of proportionality and it is known as the universal gravitational constant or universal constant of gravitation. Now that we have learned what is meant by Newton's law of gravitation, let us try to define G, that is universal constant of gravitation. Now in the formula, F is equal to G m1 m2 upon R square. F stands for gravitational force, G is the constant of gravitation, m1, m2 are the masses of the two objects, and R is the distance between the two objects. Now, consider that the two masses or the masses that are acting on the object are unity, that is m is equal to 1, m2 is also equal to 1, and R is also equal to 1. So let us consider that m1 is 1 kg, m2 is 1 kg and R is equal to 1 meter. So we have considered the masses to be unity and the distance is also equal to 1, that is unity. If we substitute these values in the above equation, what we get is F is equal to G into m1 is 1, m2 is also 1 upon R square is 1 square. So in this case, F becomes equal to G. So the constant of gravitation is equal to the force of attraction between two objects which have unit masses and are unit distance apart from each other. So now we can come to the definition of constant of gravitation. Will you define universal constant of gravitation? Universal constant of gravitation G is equal to F, which means universal constant of gravitation is the force of attraction. This force of attraction exists between two masses. And what are the masses of these two objects? 1. And these objects are unit distance apart from each other, meaning R is equal to 1. So to sum up, universal constant of gravitation is the force of attraction between two unit masses placed at unit distance apart from each other. Now, why is the value of g called as universal constant of gravitation? This is because the value of g does not depend upon the nature and size of the bodies. The bodies may be solid or in liquid or in gaseous state. They may be small in size, they may be bigger in size. So value of g is independent of nature and size of the bodies. The value of g also does not depend upon the medium which is present in between the two bodies. So the two bodies which we are taking into consideration can be present in a solid medium or in a liquid medium or in a gaseous medium. Therefore, the value of g is always taken to be a constant. See how to derive the unit of universal gravitational constant. Now we all know that F is equal to g into m1 m2 upon r square. Now the unit of force in the MKS system is Newton, or else let us cross multiply this equation and take it as F into r square is equal to g into m1 into m2. So in this case g will be is equal to F into r square upon m1 into m2. Now if I have to write down the unit of g in the MKS system, g will be is equal to the unit of force in the MKS system is Newton multiplied by the unit of distance in the MKS system is m. Now since it is r square, we will be considering radius square as m square divided by m1, that is mass of the object has a unit kilograms, multiplied by m2 will also be is equal to kilograms. So in MKS system, the unit of g is equal to Newton meter square per kg square. So also I can calculate the unit of, or I can derive the unit of g in the CGS system. In the CGS system, force has a unit dyne. Distance is measured in centimeters, so r square means centimeter square, upon mass m1 into m2. Mass is measured in grams, so grams into grams. Therefore, in CGS system, the unit of g is dyne centimeter square per gram square. Now when we are saying that g is a universal gravitational constant, g must be having a constant value. Well, the value of g is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square in the MKS system, whereas in the CGS system the value of g is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 8 dyne centimeter square per gram square. Now what we are going to remember for our numericals is we are going to take into consideration this value of g. So throughout the lesson we are going to remember the value of g, which is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Now let us study the importance of gravitational force. It is because of the gravitational force that we all are binded to the surface of the earth. So the gravitational force of attraction of the earth binds all the terrestrial objects to the earth. The gravitational force on the earth keeps the atmosphere closer to the surface of the earth. The moon can revolve around the earth because of the gravitational force which is exerted by the earth on the moon. Similarly, the gravitational pull of the sun on the other planets keep them revolving in their elliptical orbits. Also, High tides and low tides are formed by the rising and falling of water level in the oceans because there is a gravitational force of attraction between the sun and the moon on water. So importance of gravitational force is the gravitational force binds all the terrestrial objects to the surface of the earth. The gravitational force keeps the atmosphere closer to the surface of the earth. The moon revolves around the earth because of the gravitational force. The gravitational force which is exerted by the sun on the planets keep them moving in the orbits around the sun. High tides and low tides are formed because of the gravitational force of attraction between the sun and the moon on water.